We are on a kayak camping trip along the Everglades Wilderness Waterway, a 100-mile trip through the creeks, rivers, bays, and mangrove islands within Everglades National Park. Day 4 has us traveling from the Harney River Chickee up to the Broad River Ground campsite. It's only 9 miles today, but it's going to be slow going because we have to travel through some of the narrow passages going through the mangrove islands. All right, we are leaving Harney River. I actually caught my first fish this morning, little ladyfish. But the fishing has been terrible. First of all, with the winds, just been unbelievably strong during the day. Nights has been pretty good, but the bugs have been out. But I managed to get a few casts in this morning. Almost hooked a trout. Came right up to the Chickee. Took a swipe at my lure, probably 14-inch trout or so. Then I caught a ladyfish. But now we're off and running. Today we go through the Nightmare on our way up to the Broad River campsite. Broad River will be a ground site, so we'll see how that goes. But right now, very peaceful morning. It's about low 60s, sun shining, clear skies. But the winds are supposed to pick up to about 9 miles an hour today with 17-mile-per-hour gusts. We are loving life right now. The temperatures, no breeze. We're in this little area that's surrounded by mangroves. This is a great start to this day. Our first marker of the day, we're at marker 14, turning right onto the North Harney River. Some nice white birds over there. Probably can't see them on the GoPro, but take my word for it, they are there. Well, we are at marker 16 of the Wilderness Waterway, and we are turning west and heading down Broad Creek. This is beautiful. Broad Creek is really interesting. It's the narrowest passage that we've gone through so far. And as we get out of the wind, it did start picking up a little bit. We haven't seen a lot of wildlife. We've seen quite a few wading birds. Saw kingfisher, ospreys, vultures, buzzards, something like that. But we haven't seen any alligators since we left Flamingo. I guess those are actually crocodiles we saw there. I don't know how many alligators there are in the area. We have not seen any of the big pythons people talk about in the Everglades. Okay, this is getting a little bit interesting. Let's see if we can get through here.
Are we in the right spot?
Yeah. You saw the sign. Doesn't look like a trail, but I think we can get through. I'll put some fishing poles down. Yeah, I wasn't really expecting this today. We've got the paddles out trying to navigate through this. These mangrove forests are amazing though. Yeah, I don't know how many people actually come through on the Wilderness Waterway, but it's a little bit tricky navigating through here. Nobody's cleared it out anytime recently. This was pretty unexpected to have this tight of a passageway through these mangroves. Working our way through, but not what we were expecting at this point. Got a down tree, we're going to have to duck under here. Plenty of birds to keep us company. Oop, I'm about to climb with some underwater sticks. Alright, see if we can get under that tree branch there.
You're going to have to lift it to get your chair. No, your chair is not open. Okay.
Most of the time you see the mangrove forest from the outside and you really don't get this kind of a perspective. But you start looking how far back these forests go. I didn't realize mangroves got this big either. But it's beautiful in here. I wouldn't mind a few more markers telling me I'm in the right spot, but otherwise it's been pretty interesting over the last 30 minutes or so. Yep, pretty slow going through here.
Yeah, for some of it.
There we go. Perfect. It is pretty challenging getting through some of the obstacles as we work our way through Broad Creek, but it is just very peaceful, quiet. We hear the birds, the mangrove forest. It's entertaining. We planned for a short day today, knowing that we were going to have some slow mileage, so this is working out pretty well for us. Well, it is opening up a little bit now. We've been going over trees and under trees, so not making very good time today, but it's only a 9-mile day, so hopefully we'll have it open like this for a little bit longer so we can make up a little bit of time. Only opening up a bit, so we're going to pick up the pace. See, it's getting a lot wider now, so it should be this way for a while. I think there's another section similar to what we just went through, but for now we're going to try to get some miles behind us. And, get a little bit of a breeze, some sun, pretty glorious day. Now marker 17. Well, it's really shallow here. My pedals are bumping. Heading up, I think this is technically still part of Broad Creek. Looks like there are some pelicans, or at least one pelican over there. Another little wading bird as we pass marker 19. I guess if you go in the other direction, that works out fine. But we are going this way. This is what they call the Nightmare. So this should be similar to the terrain we traversed in Broad Creek. Look at these mangrove roots coming down from that branch up there. Those things have to be 15 feet long, maybe more, trying to reach to the water. That's amazing. I've seen a few things as I've researched the Wilderness Waterway, and even on the map there's some notes that says that you should not try to traverse the Nightmare at low tide, that it's not passable. So we are obviously pretty close to low tide. So we'll see how far we can get. I hope we don't have to wait for the tide to come in. These kayaks only draw, 1 or 2 inches of water. So as long as there's any water at all, we should be able to get through. Well, if it were high enough, we could probably get over that. But I think we're gonna have to try to find a way to get under, which isn't going to be easy. Backtrack a little bit if we can get turned around and see if there's another fork off to the left up here. Okay, so this is the alternate path. It still doesn't look great at low tide, but we're going to give it a shot. Okay, so we've decided we need to wait for some water to come in. I tried to get out so I could pull the kayaks over some of these branches. We're only at 3 inches of water, but I stepped in and it went all the way up to my knee in the mud. So that's not going to cut it. So we're going to go chill out somewhere for a little while and wait for some water to come in. Okay, it is about 1 o'clock and low tide is at 1:15. So we're going to just kind of hang out here in the shade for an hour and a half, 2 hours, wait and see when the tide turns. And once it starts coming in, we'll start making our way back to the Nightmare and see if we can get through and just ride the tide in. Might be slow going at first, but by the time we get to the end, it'll be much closer to high tide. High tide's at 10 minutes to 7 tonight. So, but we're gonna have to get through before that. We don't want to be stuck in there at dark. So the tide's been coming in for about an hour. We're gonna try it again. But you can see, it'd be nice if they had a sign here pointing the right direction. That looks more open, but that's the way to go. Well, we made it past our last obstacle, so with the extra couple of inches of water with the tide coming in, it has helped. So we'll just keep on trekking through here Hopefully we can make it to the end without having to wait anymore. All right, so there's a log here that's very steady. I tried to go over it, but it's hard to pull yourself over, and you can't get out because the mud is so thick. So we're stuck here waiting for a couple more inches of water to come in. There's worse places to be. I mean, look at this place. It is amazing.
And the company's pretty good too.
Not too bad. All hanging out together, just telling stories.
Waiting to get this over with.
Yeah. Looking forward to a ground campsite tonight with all the raccoons and alligators.
Yeah, looking
And pythons.
Wait. Cannot wait for that.
Okay, well, we are moving again. Slowly, but we got just enough water to get over that last log. And it's just going to be some slow going here.
Stay on that side.
Okay.
Pedals up. Got it? Got it?
Got it?
This thing is really hard to navigate. We made a wrong turn, had to come back. But you know, there's no blazes like you see on a trail. And the mile markers or the markers are very few and far between. And you can see there's just not much here. But we're going over branches, under branches, and we're making progress. Hey, we have had the paddles out all day long. It's just too shallow and too many branches to pedal. So our legs got to rest, but we'll probably have some sore upper body tonight. So it's finally starting to open up a little bit. We're getting much closer to Broad River, maybe, I don't know, another 15, 20 minutes or so. So hopefully it'll stay like this so we can make some progress because it has been slow going today. Beautiful. We made a couple of wrong turns, but we're ready to get to campsite. So charge on. And we have Wilderness Waterway marker 24, which means we have officially exited the nightmare. And there's a crab right on that post. See if I can get him. Yep, there he is. Some crabs on the post. One, two, three little crabs. I'm easily entertained. So we're back on a big river. This is the Broad River. But beautiful day. It's 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So it took us a long time to get through the nightmare. But the sun is shining, the wind isn't bad. We're making good progress. We're actually riding the tide right now in. So we should be at the campsite pretty soon. Trying to get everything up on shore. Let's see if I can use this kayak ramp they have here. All right, so we have camp set up here, a couple of tents, pulled the kayaks out of the water, and we're hanging our food and stuff so that raccoons don't get it. I don't know if there's any raccoons here, but we're gonna be safe. Nice little trout, well, maybe 11, 12 inches.
Nice.
And be free.
Bring a
Get
bigger
some more.
Go get a bigger one.
4 trout today.
Nice.